Hey y'all. So look, something's been on my mind since this conversation took place, and I just wanted to run it by you, share it with you. We all friends here. So recently, I had a conversation with someone I know, and they basically told me that this channel is like struggling to grow because I'm not messy enough. Like, according to this individual, I need to stir the pot more, or I need to create more drama, or embrace the tea. And y'all know that's just, ugh. But anywho, I've been doing this for a little while, and I've seen how some channels that started at pretty much the same time as mine has grown exponentially. And I've seen how some channels thrive on that kind of content. But honestly, that's not me. That's exhausting to me. It feels like everywhere you look, people are shouting, exaggerating, creating conflict just for clicks and views. And I honestly told myself that this would not be me. I could not do this. Here's the thing. I started this channel to be different, especially now that I'm pivoting my content away from just talking about sci-fi or just talking about Star Trek. I am talking about pop culture and an awful lot more. And I want to create a space where we can talk about current events, talk about pop culture, talk about TVs and movies without all the theatrics. I wanted this, and I still want this, to be a place where we can have intelligent, thoughtful conversations without the constant need for shock value, for drama, for tea. And look, I'm not perfect, or I'm not holier than thou. There are times where we're going to talk about stuff that is part of the scandals, part of the drama, but is not my intent to ever sensationalize a story, to make it bigger, or to make it seem like I've got these sources that nobody else has. It's entertaining. I get it. Drama is entertaining. We all love a little bit of gossip every now and then, right? But when it becomes the main focus, when we start valuing sensationalism over substance, I think we lose something important. We lose the ability to have real conversations, to engage with each other in a really meaningful way. And then also, look at the other side of messiness. It comes with a cost. The cost is it can damage people's reputations, it can create division, and it perpetuates stereotypes, harmful stereotypes against people that look just like me. And frankly, I'm not interested in contributing to that. Something this weekend that happened that I'm so glad happened after I had this conversation was I watched Megan Thee Stallion's documentary on Amazon Prime, Megan Thee Stallion and Her Words, where she recounted probably the entire year surrounding that incident with Tory Lanez where she was shot in her feet. And it started, of course, with her losing her mother, and then the spiral, the way her life kind of devolved into alcoholism and nihilism because she is using those things as a band-aid, putting a salve on the feelings that she's feeling after the most devastating loss of her life. So now here is a young woman in her 20s who has lost her mother, her father, her granny. She has no one. And she surrounded herself with the wrong people, and bad things followed. But what made it even worse was how people discussed this young lady like she was not the victim in this situation. They called her a liar. They stood by Tory Lanez even after he shot her, and we have a recording of him apologizing for shooting her. And then, on top of that, people were saying that he should have aimed higher. He should have shot her in the head. That's the type of stuff that this young lady had to see from people with microphones on YouTube and TikTok and social media, period. And to see how she spiraled into anxiety and depression over this situation, it hurt. I wish at that time that I had a platform large enough where my voice would have been heard over the cacophony of noise that this young lady was dealing with day in and day out. They're saying, look, baby, take care of you. Get off of social media. Take care of you. Because I suffer from anxiety. I have never had anything as traumatic as being shot and then having what feels like the world turn against you for being shot. I found myself curled up in a ball over just regular stuff. To imagine what she had to deal with, and then every night having to put on the happy face and go and perform in front of people because that's what you do for a living. I cannot imagine what she dealt with. And I feel like because I have made it my kind of mission to not get in the weeds so much. Now, I can't say I'm never in the weeds, but I don't live in the weeds. So I feel like my mission to not be in the weeds will help people like Megan, who only need to hear a few voices that sound like they are on her side. And then I also look at the flip side of that exact same coin, the Diddy situation. Now, whether he's guilty or innocent, that is going to be determined in court. But think about how much crazy stuff is being said. And who knows, some of it or maybe all of it could be true. But this could be the very thing that a guilty person uses to say, hey, there's no way I could get a fair trial. All of this gossip, all of these rumors are all out on the internet, and the people who would be sitting on my jury are consuming that. So they're already coming into my case, and I'm speaking for Diddy at this point, okay? People are already coming into my case with preconceptions about who I am because of all of the salacious stories that are on social media. So in one way, you're hurting victims because you're turning your finger and pointing at them and telling them, no, you're not a victim, you're the villain in this story. And then on the other side, you're helping villains because you're saying, oh yeah, you're a villain, and we're going to make sure that everybody knows we're going to make you a cartoon villain. And they're going to use that as a way to get a mistrial. You see how stupid it is? And I don't want to call people stupid, but I didn't call people stupid. I called the thought of doing these things stupid. So I feel a little bit better. But you see what I mean? How playing in the weeds a little too much, it hurts all parties. Watching that documentary really did something to me this weekend. The one thing that it did the most, it validated why I have decided that if we're going to talk about this and if we're going to do it on my channel, we're not going to beat up people. You know, small minds talk about people. We're not going to beat up people. We're going to talk about the ideas surrounding these things, but I cannot just sit here. I can't do that. To monetize doing that would feel immoral to me. And I am by no stretch of the imagination am I a perfect person. But as a middle-aged woman with an adult son and grandchildren, I would want somebody to give that amount of grace to my family and to me. If somebody turned the camera on me and scrutinized every moment of my life, how would I like it? And I'm telling you, I wouldn't. I would be just like Megan was. I would be reduced to an anxiety-ridden, depressed shell of myself, where separating the art from the artist is a person. The artist is an individual that has feelings, emotion. I can't be that person. I watched that documentary and there were so many clips from different vloggers and different uh, social media personalities, and they were all shouting her down. And I don't want to be associated with that. If somebody has me in their video, at least I want them to say, at least she's trying to apply some kind of common sense to what she's saying. She's not just saying stuff for the shock value or the clicks and disregarding the fact that there is a person attached to the story. But anyway, I've gone off on a tangent. But yeah, that was like, I needed to see that documentary this weekend. I needed to see that because that solidifies my belief that there has to be another way to have these conversations, and it could be more positive, or it could be more solution oriented instead of just continuously talking about problems. Yeah, I feel like I'm that person, and I'm not the only one, but you don't hear as much from a person like me, a person who refuses to get in the mud. I refuse to get in the mud with people. I refuse. I believe that there is an audience of people out there who are just like me, who are just tired of the noise. People who are looking for a place where they can connect with others who share their values. A place where you can be entertained and informed without feeling like you're being dragged through mud or you're celebrating someone else being dragged through mud. That's the kind of community I want to build here. A community of thoughtful, engaged individuals who are ready to have real conversations about the things that matter. So, the person I know who gave me that advice, I'm pretty sure they're not watching this video. And that's fine. Now I'm going to sound like Suge Knight. But if you're looking for a place for mature, meaningful conversations about things that truly matter, you're in the right place. And just in case, to my friend who thinks I need to be messier, I do appreciate the feedback. I appreciate everybody's feedback. But I'm going to keep doing things the way that I'm doing them. Because at the end of the day, I'm not here for the drama. I'm here for the culture. Peace.
Small minds discuss other people. Gossip. Good minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas. Great minds discuss ideas. Great minds discuss ideas.